When was the last time you listened to music? Was it in your car? Maybe on your headphones on your way to class? Maybe at a party? Think about it. How did you access the music? Well, if you're like most people, you probably opened up your phone, opened an app like Apple Music or Spotify, and you streamed through the internet. But did you ever stop to think, how did we get where we are today? What about all the other formats that came before? Well, today I'm going to be discussing that, from the earliest audio recordings to the streaming era of now. So what exactly was the earliest format? Well, according to a 2016 article by Elizabeth Shaw, Thomas Edison came up with the first successful way to reproduce audio. In 1878, he released his talking machine, which basically worked by funneling audio through a funnel, and then a needle would record onto a wax cylinder. This cylinder had a 2-minute playtime recording limit, and it became an instant success because it was the first time people could listen to music without having to travel. Thomas Edison's wax cylinders soon found competition in the form of flat shellac records. These shellac records could play 3 minutes of music on each side, and they instantly became, by the 1910s, they became the main format of music playback, both because they had increased playback time and they were a lot easier to store because they were flat. During the mid-20th century, there was constant innovation in different audio formats, starting with the vinyl LP in 1948. The vinyl LP had space to play 22 minutes of music on each side. Because of the greatly increased space, it helped usher in what was called the album era, where artists would create cohesive collections of songs that would fit together as a single experience, not just single tracks. According to a 2002 article by Tina Giannoulis, the 8-track tape was introduced in 1965. It was called the 8-track because the magnetic tape was split into 8 different tracks. They became built in with new Ford vehicles in 1966, and they were a hit because it was the first time people could listen to their own music that they chose on the go, rather than just what was on the radio. Cassette tapes were also a popular medium for listening to music. According to a 2023 article by Ethan Iverson, during the 80s, people could often be seen listening to music on their Walkman or their stereo boombox. During the early 80s, compact discs, also known as CDs, were first introduced. They had the best sound quality ever as of that time. They stored music digitally for the first time. And by the 1990s, they were the main format the music was sold on. An interesting thing, because CDs stored music digitally, they were compatible with the computers of the late 1990s. This compatibility allowed people to copy songs from CDs onto their computers, and it led to the current music landscape of today. In 1999, Napster released a program that allowed people to share copied music over the internet. It was an instant hit because people had immediate access to music, whatever music they wanted, and there was no charge. Napster sent CD sales plummeting, and it sent the music industry into a panic. According to a 2002 Newsweek article, a lot of big industry heads like the RIAA, the Recording Industry Association of America, and big bands like Metallica sued Napster, saying they were illegally distributing music. Napster was shut down, but it was soon replaced by other applications like LimeWire and Kazaa. In 2003, iTunes became the first online store that was popular that allowed people to legally purchase music. In 2011, Spotify came to the US. Spotify allowed people an unlimited access to music on a subscription model. Spotify made a lot of money for the companies, but they didn't give a lot of money to the artists, as artists only make a little bit of money on each play. Because the way it's monetized based on song plays, songs have been getting shorter and shorter as there's no motivation to make longer songs. Also, because of platforms like TikTok, where songs are just 30-minute clips, there's not as much motivation for artists to create longer songs. Some people do still prefer physical media, as shown by the fact that record sales have been growing over the past 10 years. However, interestingly, about half people who do buy records don't actually listen to them, don't even own a record player. I think it's interesting how today people mostly listen to singles and how songs are getting shorter. It kind of mirrors the old days of the shellac records, where songs were just singles, not albums, and there was a time limit associated. For most people today, music is instantly accessible and easily disposable. It also seems like more of an afterthought than it did in the heyday of the 20th century. Will music keep getting shorter to accommodate streaming platforms? Will long form music make a comeback? What about AI? With the rise of AI, will people be able to listen to whatever they want instantly, even if a human never recorded it? What do you think? I'm curious what your thoughts are about the future of music. Thank you. Bye.